The relationship between me and Sneako has been getting pretty serious as of late, as he went from initially seeming to hate me.
Bro, but look at the fucking snake you did. This is what I'm so sick about, these fucking bot tubers.
To defending me to his audience.
Some people are calling him punchable, stuff like that. I can't even lie, bro. He seems like, I like this dude.
And now finally, well, becoming my new stan.
What do you mean?
So I know you're all wondering right now, how did we get here? And now that Sneako is such a big fan of me and my work, how did he take the gospel message at the end of my recent video? Well, you might be shocked. Let's find out. So Sneako responded to my recent video called
Sneako Rage Quits Islam?
Where I talk about his recent stance towards the rules in Islam, rules that he doesn't seem to be taking very well.
How much stuff do I have to give up? Pork, fun, alcohol, women, gambling, music, about everything.
Now in the first half of his response, he really doesn't say much other than making fun of my dad jokes, which was well deserved by the way, because my dad jokes in that video were cringy. I mean, intentionally cringy, but nonetheless, all right, they were pretty cringy. So I'll take the L on that one. But about halfway through is where things start to get far more interesting in my opinion. I'll link his full video down below if you want to watch his first half, but after he defended me to his audience, he gets to the parts of my video where the points that I was making start to get more serious. So let's hear how he responded to those points. Sneako was left with the decision to make. Would he choose to follow the rules that Allah demands, or would he choose to willfully sin against Allah and therefore disappoint his new Muslim fans? Well, we didn't have to wait too long to find out because he answered this question in a follow-up stream.
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm getting into real estate now, and buying a whole house cash up front is just like, I'd rather finance it, stuff like that. There's so much interest involved. I'm gonna do it. And I know it's haram. Sorry.
And it seems at this point, maybe Sneako has had enough of Islam because investing in real estate isn't the only willful sin that he's choosing to commit.
Bro, this guy wants me to denounce Islam so bad. This is what this whole video is. Just a Christian going back and forth, trying to shit on Islam. That's all.
Now, this is a pretty interesting take since I literally didn't say a single bad thing about Islam. I only talked about him choosing to publicly disobey Islam, which is entirely on him and his premeditated decisions. Trying to make it out to be where it's me versus Islam sounds like a way to try to deflect the heat off of himself, if you ask me. But, I mean, who knows? Let's just keep going. So stupid. About a week ago, he was asking an adult star.
I like him. I like him. Some people are calling him punchable, stuff like that. I can't even lie, bro. He seems like, I like this dude. I can't even
record private corn videos with him at his house.
So what do you do for a living?
I don't judge. I think everybody, bro, the meat watching is crazy. Everybody like, bro, this is an E-date. This is an E-date with rice gum. You think I'm going to be honest about porn to a random whore that he brought on? It's a joke. It's not a joke, but I'm trying to rizz up a girl. I'm going to lie. That's what it takes to rizz up a girl on an E-date, bro. Why do you guys?
And do how? Maybe we can make our own porn privately, you know?
That's even better. Keep it just for us.
Just for us. And then we could play it on the TV in the house.
Most forms of dating are haram in Islam, and Sneako got a random new girlfriend during a live stream and has been streaming their haram date.
Why is he on my...
Now, this was only a few days ago, and...
This guy's dissing you, Maya. You got dissed by some random Christian.
In the chat?
No. I'll show you later. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll shoot him. Okay. No, I won't. I'm not going to shoot. Come on. I will. I won't.
On a live stream, and again, like last time, this either seems to be deflection or a really bad awareness of what's being said. I obviously didn't say a single bad thing about his girlfriend, but a Sneako's got a sneak. Another dad joke for you. Now, he mentioned how he's going to show this to his girlfriend, but I really doubt he's going to show her this next part, and has been streaming their haram dates. Now, this was only a few days ago, and since then, he's been checking out other girls on live streams.
Riz some girls. Chat, I did so many today already. All right, if we see one, inshallah. Inshallah. Look how many there are right there. So many baddies in Brickell. I'm telling you, chat. I'm telling you. Look at them. Look at this one right ahead.
All right, bro.
Oh, she's with the guy.
It's content, man.
Hey, pretty girl. Hey, fat ass. This is what I'm saying. Look at that, bro.
But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Sneako is even aware.
Bruh. This is what I'm saying. Look at that, bro.
But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Sneako. is even aware that Islam isn't like a MacBook. You can't just force quit when things aren't working. Public apostasy can buy you a one-way ticket to you-know-where, along with a large number of Muslims that believe that they have a theological license to send you there. Alright, now here's where things start to get more interesting in my opinion. Let's hear how he responded to the more serious points that I made. And to be fair to his Muslim chat, they're probably just trying to help him avoid Allah's judgment, since according to Sahih Al-Bukhari, sins that are committed openly won't be forgiven in Islam. And ironically, this has been Sneako.
Okay, this dude's just on my dick heavy, bro. He's watching every single stream. He's watching this too. This is going to be another reaction video. It is what it is.
Well, he is right that this is going to be another reaction video, but once again, his response reeks of deflection. He doesn't give a response to the point that I made while quoting the most trusted Islamic sources because, well, I mean, how could he? There isn't much for him to say because this isn't me against Sneako. This is the Muslim sources against Sneako. And so instead of him responding to my point, he accuses me of being obsessed with them. So, Sneako, I didn't watch your streams because I'm obsessed with you. I like to research things before teaching and believing in them, which is why I never found myself shocked when I learned what Christianity teaches after converting. And of course, I know that you can understand this since you also did research before converting to Islam, right? Right?
How much stuff do I have to give up? I can't even invest my money.
All right, moving on. So let's hear what he says next.
Mohammed Hijab hit me up. And yes or no, chat, you want to see another podcast? I want to talk to him. I actually want to thank him because he messaged me saying, you're doing a great job. Don't listen to all these people. Because everybody's attacked. Like everybody, this is why it's good to keep your faith private for the most part. I made it public. Maybe I shouldn't have. Because everyone's on your fucking, like everybody will constantly be trying to take you down and destroy your faith and say that you're lying. But Mohammed Hijab hit me up and said, you're doing a good job so far. I want to do a podcast with him. He says he's traveling now, but I want to do it next week. I think it'd be good.
Now, this is actually great. It sounds like his elder in the faith, Mohammed Hijab, said that Sneako is doing a great job and wants him to come on his podcast. Now, I don't know who this Mohammed Hijab guy is. Wait, I know a Mohammed Hijab with the podcast. Could this be the same Mohammed Hijab who hopped on David Wood and Apostate Prophet's live stream about Islam and started going crazy in the chat saying really weird and perverted things like this?
How about you and David Wood get involved in some kind of sexual activity? How about you get us on your knees?
Or the same Mohammed Hijab who tried to encourage the apostate prophet to self-delete.
Scared, just like David Wood before the debate. Yeah, he was scared. You saw how he was petrified, shaking. Just like you wouldn't come near me, not even in my proximity. You know you're gonna get corrected, boy. You know that I'm gonna know it from memory and you're gonna get humiliated, boy. Okay. You're nothing, boy. You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done. Liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're finished already, boy. You wouldn't try. You wouldn't try. You're hiding, boy. You're hiding. And you know you can't come out and show your face. You're hiding.
I mean, surely there's no way that this could be the same Mohammed Hijab who talked about raping the wives of his critics, along with a lot of other things that I honestly just don't feel comfortable even talking about here.
This individual, this man has real problems.
I'll link a video down below if you want to learn more, but if I were a Muslim and someone like Hijab told me that I was doing a good job as a Muslim, I would take that as an insult, not a compliment. But it's not just Hijab that Sneako says is supportive of him. Here's who else he cites.
Thank you to him. The Islamic community has been, besides the comment sections telling me to be burned into a ground, fine dust or whatever, most people have been extremely supportive. So thank you.
And he's definitely right about that. As long as we ignore the top comments on this very video, which say things like, why convert to a religion if you're not going to follow its morals and rules? Honestly, it's quite sad that Sneako thinks having fun as an adult without alcohol is hard. Sneako got cooked. Sneako got hit with the harsh truth. May Allah guide him. Hopefully he learned his lesson. The Christian man is calling you a hypocrite, and he is correct. You mock Christians that think that they can still sin and they're going to paradise. That's literally what you're doing with Islam. W Christian Wallahi, you will burn in hell for disrespecting Islam, Juco. Dude is right. Cooked. Sneako says he's doing this haram stuff for views, but that really shows where your intentions are. Now, of course, not all of them were like that, but at the time of the recording, most of them were. And here's where Sneako's posture towards the things that I was saying started to change the more that the video went on. Sneako's long-time criticism of Christianity and Christians. Sneako often argues that Christianity is flawed because he thinks that Christians believe that they can willfully choose to commit plenty of sin and still consider themselves to be Christians.
Become a Muslim.
There you go.
Because if you start drinking alcohol, you're going to go to hell. If you're a Christian, you can drink all day.
It's not
and then-
bad.
What's odd is that even though he considers this to be a knock against Christianity, he decided to join Islam and do the
You
exact
see how I just joined a holy war talking about my faith? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's my fault.
same thing. He's openly and willfully choosing to disobey all his restrictions while also still calling himself a Muslim. But worse, if he's right about Islam and he's right about how Allah isn't accepting of those who choose to willfully sin, then this is obviously really bad news for Sneako. Given this, Sneako's probably in the same boat as Myron, besides, unlike Myron, he doesn't realize it.
I know I'm not the best Muslim, so I rarely, if ever, bring Islam into the situation. Like, I never try to rationalize how I do things with Islam.
Like, what if we die tomorrow? You know, I'm not perfect either. Obviously, you know that too.
But yeah, if I were to die right now, yeah, I would probably die kafir, which is not good. So I better stay alive and get my shit together at some point.
Yeah. Don't die.
Now, props to Myron for acknowledging this and not trying to justify the
Myron, he's right.
way that he lives as if he's living according to Islam. Myron is right that he's not living up to God's standards, and so is Sneako. Sneako is correct in that he can't live up to the standard of living that God requires in both Islam and Christianity. It's because of this that Sneako is under the burden of trying to live a God-honoring life so that way he can attain salvation, and he's starting to realize more and more that he can't. If he really believes that Islam is true and he believes that his eternal destiny is really at stake, then this will keep him living his life in a state of fear, with fear being his core motivation for living a good life. But in Christianity, we also know that we can't live up to God's standards of perfection, which is why we understand the need for Jesus to save us. We know that we can't be saved by the life that we lived, and so instead, we have to accept the perfect life that he lived as a free and undeserved gift. It's because of this that our entire motivation is
Pretty funny though that the way he's trying to do that is do the same thing that the active Haram police, which like these faceless Muslim accounts do to try to feel better about their sins. The Haram police, they basically just will shame other people for committing haram to make themselves feel better. And he's using that same tactic, even as a Christian, to try to bring me to Christianity. He's basically trying to say like, you're sinning here, you're sinning here. The only way you're going to be saved is through Jesus. So he's using the same tactics that Muslims use to try to keep you on your deen, to try to bring me to Christianity and try to bring validity to Christianity. It's a little snaky, huh?
is different. All right, so no, it's not being a little sneaky. Another dad joke for you, but seriously, Sneako, it's not sneaky. When it comes to the Haram police, I would say that the Muslims who are trying to get you to follow the rules truly believe that by you not following the rules, you're in danger of hellfire, and they think that by shaming you, you'll repent from your sins and change your ways so that you can go to paradise. Now, though I agree with you that a lot of the time when people shame others for their sin, it's a way for them to feel better about their own sin, I still don't think that that's always the case. If the Muslims in your chat truly believe in Islam, then what they're doing makes complete sense. They're really just trying to help you out by trying to get you to live a life pleasing to Allah. Now, when you say that I'm trying to do the same thing, if I understand you correctly, that shows me that you haven't quite yet understood my point. I'm not pointing out the things that you do wrong to feel better about myself or my position with God, since I don't believe that I'm saved by my works anyway. I didn't earn my salvation by being better or more moral or more spiritual than you. Since I believe that I'm completely and utterly saved by the free gift of salvation that I accepted from Jesus Christ, how could I possibly look down on you for your sins and think that I'm more deserving of salvation than you are? The truth is, I can't. So I'm not pointing out the things that you do wrong for the sake of shaming you or implying that I'm better than you in some way. My true aim is to not only show you that your criticism of Christianity and Christians would also apply to you and Islam, but to also show you that Islam doesn't solve your problem. The same problem that all of us have is sin. And if you want to live in the presence of a truly perfect God, you too have to be perfect. I mean, what kind of a perfect God would allow for sin to just go unpunished? If you think about it, if a judge is truly perfect in justice, then he would have to punish each and every single wrongdoing. If he let even one of those sins go unpunished, then he wouldn't be perfectly just. And so it would be the same with a perfect God. A perfect God would have to be perfect in justice and therefore would have to punish every single sin, especially premeditated ones.
I'm going to do it. I know it's haram.
But in Christianity, God is understood to not only be perfect in justice, he's also perfect in mercy as well. Since we would have to be perfect to live in the presence of a perfect God, and God knows that we don't live up to his standards of perfection, God chose to punt on human flesh, come into our world, and in his mercy, take on the punishment for the sins that we ourselves committed. He lived the life that we should have lived, and then died the death that we should have died, and then in his perfect mercy, offered us his life in place of our own. That's why Christians believe that Jesus is the only way, because he's the only one that can solve the problem of sin for us in a way that preserves God's perfection, his perfect justice, and his perfect mercy. So I hope that makes more sense. Now let's go ahead and finish out the video before I give my final message to Sneako. We also strive to live perfect lives, but we don't do good things in order to earn our salvation. We already have salvation. The reason why we obey is not out of fear, but out of gratitude and genuine desire to serve God and others. It's not that we have to, it's that we get to. And it's because of this that every other religion says, I must obey so that way I can be accepted by God. But only in Christianity does it say, I'm accepted by God, and therefore I obey. This is one of the things that makes Christianity different from every other religion, and I explain more of those reasons in this video here. So go ahead and click here to see what I mean, and the next time that you hear Sneako saying,
I can't even invest my money.
what are you gonna say? What do you mean?
Yo, I gotta hear that outro one more time. Invest my money?
What are you gonna say? What do you mean?
Chad, would you still watch my streams if I end him like that? What do you mean? Bro.
What are you gonna say? What do you mean?
Is that Christian humor? Okay, Christian, relax. One more. Cheeto couldn't hold his libido.
What do you mean? Thank you for your kind compliments, Sneako. And when you see this, because I know that you'll be watching, although we've been somewhat joking to keep it entertaining and going back and forth in videos, we should really actually have a conversation about this soon in public or in private. As I'm sure you probably know, we have mutual friends that can put us in contact. But before we do, and now that we all agree that you're my biggest fan, why don't you just go ahead and take us out? All right, so the next time that someone says,
that's what this whole video is, just a Christian going back and forth, trying to shit on Islam. That's all this is.
Now what are you gonna say?
What do you mean?